What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Liberate Your Money, episode 30. Bang Biscuit, 30 episodes. I'm excited about it. We're just going to keep pushing, man. Bitcoin is going according to plan, and there's some big news on the investor side of things. As you can see, billionaire investor Stan Druckenmiller says he owns Bitcoin. Druckenmiller, billionaire, been in the game for a really long time, so him saying that he's got a little bit of Bitcoin is a pretty big deal, and we're going to play a little bit of this video just so you guys can hear his point of view, because I think it's important to hear what he exactly says.
A weak dollar is very good for U.S. equities. So kind of going back to your optimism or bullishness earlier, does that mean buy U.S. equities, buy gold? Is that kind of the rationale behind buying Bitcoin? What about copper and some of the copper names there? I mean, what would be in the kind of dollar decline basket?
When you look at the extraordinary measures taken by the Fed and the fact that they're monetizing debt, I think it's a high probability that we'll get inflation the next 5 or 6 years, starting maybe in a year or two, particularly with the vaccine now. The economy could run very hot. At the same time, all the stimulus is in the pipeline. At the same time, you have challenged supply chains between the United States and China. If that were to happen, again, the rotation I talked about earlier, there are companies that benefit greatly from inflation, and then that ignore a bond market decline, and then there are companies that the stocks of which would not benefit so much, specifically growth stocks. With regard to gold and Bitcoin, you've kind of overstated in your introduction my enthusiasm for Bitcoin. I do own a ton of bit of it, but I own a lot more gold. Gold is a 5,000-year brand. As a go-to asset in terms of inflation, and as I just described, I can see why you could have inflation way beyond the market's expectations. Having said that, I'm a bit of a dinosaur, but I have warmed up to the fact that Bitcoin could be an asset class that has a lot of attraction as a store of value to both millennials and the new West Coast money. And as you know, they got a lot of it. It's been around for 13 years, and with each passing day, it picks up more of its stabilization of brand. So I own many more times gold than I own Bitcoin. But frankly, if the gold bet works, the Bitcoin bet will probably work better because it's thinner and more liquid and has a lot more beta to it.
Boom. So there you have it. Stan Druckenmiller, billionaire investor, just laid out the reasons why he has a little bit of Bitcoin. Super important interview because he said that he believes in the next 5 to 6 years that inflation is going to go surpass our projections. With all of the stimulus and with a vaccine hitting the market, he's expecting a big bounce back. The economy's going to be running hot, and prices of things are going to go up, man. And it's sad for the people that are, trying to get back on their feet, and, they're going to be the ones that are going to have to pay higher prices, higher rent, like everything's going to go up in price. And he's talking about hedges against this because the dollar looks really weak because of all this inflation. So what is he buying? He said he has a lot of gold, and the reason why he holds a lot of gold is because it's a 5,000-year brand. It's been around for 5,000 years. So that's the quote-unquote reason to hold gold, is because it's just been around that long, and it's held its value for that long. It has that much history. And as he stated, Bitcoin's now got 13 years of data, and it's proven itself, and it continues to prove itself. And he basically sees that. He's allocated a small portion of his portfolio to it. I think this really hits home to that get off zero thing. I mean, you got top of the line investors giving their point of view, saying that they're getting off zero, they're putting a little bit of their allocation into Bitcoin because if gold does well, Bitcoin's going to do well, and they understand that. They're not putting all of their eggs in one basket, and that's what a smart investor does. So I think this Druckenmiller news is huge. You know, it's been blowing up all over Twitter, crypto Twitter. Raul Paul, the significant of the world's greatest and most respected money manager, Stan Druckenmiller, saying just now that he is long Bitcoin, cannot be overstated. That has removed every obstacle for any hedge fund or endowment to invest. So when you got bigwigs like Stan Druckenmiller saying that they're getting involved, this means that hedge funds, all the guys below him are going to be like, all right, this thing has some credibility now. It's amazing the timing for all of this because, as you know, 6 months ago, almost to the day, Bitcoin had its third halving, and that's one of the highlights of this video. Is tomorrow is November 11th, and that will be the 6 month mark, half a year since our halving. And I took this snapshot of the Bitstamp chart on the day of the halving, and you can see on the day of the halving, a new 4-year cycle begins today. What will the price of Bitcoin be at the next halving in 2024? Because the halving happens every 4 years, and as you can see on the chart, I have it listed every time that it happened. And every time that it happened, what preceded it was a parabolic bull market, and that's what we're expecting. And what happened the second time after we had a halving? A parabolic bull market. So that's what we're expecting. We had our halving 6 months ago tomorrow, and the price of one Bitcoin was $8,800, $8,843 when I snapped this. And the price of a Bitcoin right now is $15,400. If you look at the chart, compare it to the other one, we got the same range, right? The updated chart, look at, we broke out of the range, tested the range as support, and we are climbing, folks. Climbing. This chart couldn't be more bullish. It's actually insane to me when I look at it. It's just everything is going right for Bitcoin right now. And you know, if we were to look back at 2016 at the beginning of the last bull market, you know, it was breaking out of the range, and then we got above the range, and things went parabolic for the next, let's see, this was November of 2016. The bull market ended December 2017. So a year later, we had a year-long parabolic bull market. I mean, essentially, they had a bull market since January 2015. It was continuously making higher lows on the monthly chart. But and we've been doing the same thing since December of 2018. We bottomed right here. We've been making higher lows. You know, this looks bad on the chart, but this is the coronavirus liquidity event, and it still made a higher low. And ever since then, you know, I think Bitcoin's up 100% on the year, and we're breaking above the last monthly level. Literally, the only other levels we have is at 17K, and then all-time highs at like 19.8. So I love this chart. I think it puts things into perspective. It's I mean, you can clearly see the ranges, you know, the troughs of each halving of each bear market, and then the bull runs that precede after it. And we're just in the beginning stages of the other one, of the next bull market. We had our halving 6 months ago, and look where we're at. It's pretty amazing. But yeah, I mean, look at the price action. It took 6 months, but look, we shot above it, came back down, tested it, and October was a crazy month. I mean, we shot up and we were like right at this line, closed, and now we're above it. Wouldn't be surprised if we came back down and test that 14K, but if we zoom in on the chart, we're flagging. This is a bull flag. I mean, it wants to break out. Whoops. You know, it's probably going to go longer than that. I mean, I think we're going to go sideways longer than this. I don't think it's going to break out just yet. But it could pop out of this, above this overhead resistance, and keep climbing. If I pull up the RSI, like if I'm looking for indications that this thing is going to continue to go up, I would call this a hidden bull div. And what a hidden bull div is where price on the chart continues to make higher lows, which it's doing, right? It's been making higher lows the past few days. And when the RSI is making lower lows, which is what it's been doing in the same amount of time that it's been making higher lows. So when you have that kind of simultaneous price action, you want to see that in a bull market, because that means that it's probably a hidden bullish div. You know, price might fall back down or something, but ultimately it looks like it's probably going to break to the upside according to this bull div, hidden bull div. Doesn't always happen, but the way that price has been playing out since we broke above these levels, you know, I'm planning on more upside. I think I made a prediction on my Facebook about, I don't know, it was a month ago, basically saying, you know, I think that we're going to break all-time highs sometime in the next 6 months. Like, that's how fast price moves when we get past that halving. We zoom out again. If we look at how fast price moves, I mean, we had this breakout monthly candle right here, October. Boom. Boom. Now, look at how volatile some of these months are. I mean, we're going to see some volatility. I'm talking 30% volatility. You know, I made a couple tweets. If you don't follow me on Twitter, it's Bo with the Flow, no W. But I had this tweet this morning. I was just kind of like, you know, the Bitcoin dips, they get more deceiving as price gets higher. The dips feel just as heavy at 15K as they did at 10K, but a $1,000 dip at 15K is only 6.5% dip compared to 10% at 10K. And so basically, you understand what I'm saying. It's all relative to the price of Bitcoin and how far it dips. You really got to be watching the percentages, because if you think it dipped $1,000 at 15K, you know, it might dip more because it's only 6.5%. Bitcoin in bull markets is known to have these 30% pullbacks after a parabolic movement, but then it always rebounds. You know, it flushes out all the margin traders, and then spot buyers eat it up, and then the price, you know, recovers, and we continue the bull trend to the upside. So that's all I got for this one. Like I said, it's been 6 months since the halving, and price is, you know, we're at 15.4. 8,800 to 15.4 in 6 months. I'd say that's pretty good price appreciation. If the chart's telling us anything, it's that the price is probably, you know, I'm expecting a retest at least of this 14K, but like I said, price is, if we zoom in, it looks really good, guys. I mean, it looks like it wants to break out, maybe. Making higher lows. Let's, I could see a fake out, boom, come back down here, test, and then go up, or we could break down here, test this level again, then go up. There's a lot of options, but this is bullish price movement. We keep making higher lows. Higher lows. Price is going to continue to go up, in my opinion. But that's all I got for this one, guys. 6 months since the halving. The bull run continues. Let's keep it going. All right, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.